Hey, it's Bree here with So Not Crazy. Today I'm going to show you how you can start your plant hanger if you don't have something like a wood ring, a metal ring, a wood dowel, a piece of driftwood. If you don't have any of those things or don't want to use them, I will show you how to start your plant hanger using all cord. So let me set these off to the side. So I like to use 3 millimeter macrame cord, and this is just some scrap cord that I have that is basically going to mimic our plant hanger cord that we have. So you'll want to find the halfway point of the macrame cord that you are going to be using for your plant hanger. And then you'll want to get another piece. I'm going to use a different color just so it's kind of easier to see what I'm doing against the natural color macrame cord. And this is what we're going to be using to first tie a lark's head knot, and then to kind of create the ring, we're going to make a fake lark's head knot. So get your other piece of 3 millimeter macrame cord, and the length that you're going to have depends on how long you want your ring to be. Generally, the rule of thumb with macrame is you want your piece of cord to be 4 to 5 times the length of your finished piece. So if you kind of want to measure out, you know, how long, it's basically going to look like this, but we're going to wrap these cords with this one, and that's how you'll know how long your piece will be. So again, with that extra piece, you're going to fold it in half and make this loop. Lay it on top of your bunch of your plant hanger macrame cord at that halfway point that you already found, and then take this loop here and put it over, and then pull these 2 loose ends through that loop. And pull it tight. And that is a lark's head knot. Now to keep going, we're going to take this right side cord here and put it over the top of our bunch of rope, and leave a little space down here, a little loop, and pull that cord through. You want to kind of scoot it close, pull it tight. Now we're going to put it under our bunch of cord. Again, leave a loop and pull that loose end through. And see, you've just created what looks like another lark's head knot, but it's, I mean, it is, but it's not like how we usually do a lark's head knot. That's why we call it a fake lark's head knot. And then you just keep going with your fake lark's head knot. So you put your rope over, pull it through that loop, and then under, pull the loose end through this loop, put your cord over, pull the loose end through, and then under and through that loop. And over the top, under through that loop, and then on the underside, over through that loop. And we're just going to keep going basically till we run out of cord. Well, that's what I'm going to do. And you can leave the end pretty short because then I will show you of course, how to finish this so you can start your plant hanger. Okay, now to go the other way with the left cord, you'll do the same thing. Put it over the top of the bunch of your cord, pull it under and through that loop, and then put it under your bunch of cord, over and through that loop. You can always kind of mess with it if part of it ends up being looser. Just pull it around, tighten it over through that loop, and then under through the loop. And I'm going to show you another way, a different knot that you can use to kind of create this ring if you don't have, like I said at the beginning, a wood ring or a metal ring or some kind of piece like that for your plant hanger. I'm just going till I finish this piece of cord, over, through the loop, under, through the loop. The fake lark's head knot took me a pretty good amount of time to learn. So if you're not getting it, don't be hard on yourself. I just kind of repeat that. Over, through the loop, under, through the loop. And then see, you can then bring it together. So this is how I know I should have used a longer piece. I mean, this will still work. You can hang it from a nail or, you know, a hook in the ceiling. But when I've done this, I've made it, you know, a little bit longer. And then to finish it, to hold it in place, we'll get another piece of 3mm macrame cord. And again, I'm using a different color just so you can see against the natural color. So we're going to do a wrap knot now. Make this kind of U shape with your piece. We want this little piece right here to stick up, and then the rest of our long piece of cord just kind of hangs out over here. And then right here where this kind of starts to bend is where we're going to put right under the lark's head knots that we did. And we do want this little piece to stick up because we're going to pull on it in just a minute. So I just have my U laying here. It's now a loop. And then with this long piece that I left laying out, we're going to start wrapping it around everything. Around our bunch of cord that we're going to use for the plant hanger, around our little ends that are sticking out from the lark's head knots we did, and even around the cord I put here for the wrap knot. And you just keep wrapping. How many you do is really up to you. Basically, like how kind of thick you want this knot to be. At the top of a plant hanger, I generally do probably about 5 or 6. So then when you have as many wraps as you want, you're going to bring this long piece through that loop, and it's best if it goes down through that loop. And then you're going to hold it in these fingers that are holding your wrap knot as well. And this is where you pull up on this piece, and And you want to pull up until that loop we had tucks up into our wrap knot. And then you're going to get your scissors and cut this piece. You're going to cut this long piece and then trim these little ends that were from the lark's head knot that we did. And there is one way to have your loop for your plant hanger, and then you just start tying your plant hanger down here. Okay, so that's one way. The other thing you can do and again, I'm just kind of using scrap rope here to mimic my plant hanger. So you'll again find your halfway point. And again, I'm just using another color so it's easier to see. And we're just going to start wrapping. So kind of like we were doing with the wrap knot. But see, I'm just wrapping as tightly as I can. You could get something to hold this end down to make it easier. Maybe like one of those like metal like binder clips or a paper clip. And you just keep wrapping until you're at that length that you want. And then we have to go the other way, since we did start at our halfway point on our plant hanger cord. And then once we get to the end, you'll need your other little piece of cord to do the wrap knot, just like we did in that last with all the fake lark's head knots that we made. Okay. So say we're at the end. Again, you could do more if you want. We're going to do the same thing with that U shape that we did. Put that U right on top of our whole bunch here, so we have that loop. And then we're just gonna start wrapping around everything. And the wrap knot, I pull pretty tight. And then again, I like to do about 5 or 6 times. And then put that down through the loop that we have here. Hold that with your fingers, hold it tight as you pull up on this little tab. And then again, trim this piece, trim this piece. You can trim your other pieces that you use to wrap. And there you go. So there are your 2 ways to create your loops to be able to hang your plant hanger from, just with macrame cord. And as usual, I would love to see your finished projects. Take a picture, send me an email at sonotcrazy@hotmail.com, or share on Instagram and use hashtag #SoNotCrazy. See you next time.